Welcome back to Heal Your Past, Master Your Future. I'm your host, Tracy Malone, and today we embark on a transformative journey to explore what an emotion is. This is a really important topic because there's a fair chance that you were never taught this in school. I know I wasn't. There is more focus on it now with somatic awareness and kids and adults being taught how to regulate the nervous system. You've probably seen a bit of that online. And it helps us become whole and accept all parts of us. And our emotions are a part of us. It may be that when you were a child, you were only allowed a small range of acceptable emotions: happy, joyful, being good. We used to have those words of you're either good or you're bad. If you cried, you were told not to. It was too big an emotion. And maybe it made your parents feel uncomfortable and they didn't feel safe sharing their big emotions because their parents wouldn't allow them to. So from a very young age, crying and being sad, you were told is wrong and you were bad for doing it. Then maybe at another time, you got angry and you showed your anger and you were very quickly shut down or sent away. Take your anger somewhere else. Go away until you cool down. As humans, we have a deep need to belong. It is hardwired into us. We need to be with our tribe. So if we are sent away and excluded from being with our parents or our caretakers or our family, then we can fast believe that we are not good enough and that we must be bad. So we limit those emotions, and when they start to appear, we learn how to really quickly shut them down. I'm hoping you've listened to the first 2 episodes of the podcast because then you will really understand the unconscious and the concept of who's driving the bus. So if you haven't listened to those, I'd really encourage you to go back and listen to those to really gain that understanding at depth. Because we now need to think about which part of us is bringing us this emotion, because our emotions come from our body. Our thoughts are actually the last part of the puzzle, the last piece of the chain. So there's a part of us that is lodged in our nervous system from our past. So it's one of us that is on the bus of our psyche and our soul who has this emotion because something that's happened has reminded them of a situation that they're still playing over and over from the past. They're still trapped and locked right back there in that moment and that emotion in the past. And so they're reminded of that and you get what's called a trigger. And that brings the emotion up for you. And the emotion coming up for you is actually a way for you to now face the emotion and allow it to express. And now I'd really like to help you to understand why an expression of all of our emotions is so important and so perfect and so beautiful for us to do when we do it safely. Throwing it at other people isn't okay. If you're feeling angry and you just spout it at everyone, that's not a safe way to express emotion. So this comes with a big disclaimer. Safely expressing emotions is the key here. As an adult, you grow to understand that emotions are okay to express safely, like I just said. But there's a part of you, that little young part, that got excluded when you showed that emotion. Like when you did anything other than be good. Good boys, good girls, don't do that. You will go to your room. That's what a bad boy or bad girl does. So you have the huge need to be included and to belong. And you were trained that those who show anger or tears don't belong. So your protective coping mechanism in your small immature parts that are on the bus come to life each time you go to have a feeling other than joy. They recognize that feeling and they shut it down fast. So you've got all these parts of you at play. There's the part of you that has been triggered into this emotion from your past experience. And then there's also the part of you that knows that it's not safe to have and feel this emotion because you were excluded or you were told not to have this emotion when you were younger. So this part of you shuts it down. And so this is why I love getting my work out into the world, to help you to understand, to help everyone to understand we are complex beings. And the most important relationship that we are ever going to have is with ourselves. And the most understanding that we can ever give is to ourselves. And the most kindness and love that we can ever give in the world, the most important one to do is to ourselves. This is also why it's so important to understand what an emotion is. Because as you learn this as an adult, it can help that small part of you, that immature part of you, to understand what an emotion is and why we have them. And then as you learn how to safely express them, you're unfreezing this part of you that freezes the emotion before it rises. You're teaching them that it's safe to have emotions. So when you have an emotion, it doesn't get trapped in your body. It gets to flow. Emotions, as I said before, are energy in motion. An emotion is a guidepost to tell us what's really going on for us. And it's often a guidepost to important information about our surroundings and what's going on for us in real time. Our body is so much more aware than our mind about our surroundings and the people we're with. Remember, the thought is the last part of the process. Our body holds a wisdom that is extraordinary if we choose to tap into it. If we learn to listen to these emotions, then we can raise our emotional intelligence. And by doing so, we become more whole. We become more resilient. There is so many benefits. You can really step into your power if you're able to truly understand and embrace your emotions and allow yourself to process them fully. Have you ever considered yourself why it is that we actually have emotions? Because they're bringing us information, like I said. It's your body's way of speaking to you. It's your body's way, those parts of you on the bus and your soul and your psyche, it's the way of speaking to you. It's also how your intuition and your higher self communicates with you is through your body. Emotions are not here to make your life difficult. They don't want to hurt you, and they most certainly, definitely do not want to get shut down or stuck. They want to flow. Energy in motion. And when they do flow, they can complete their cycle. When you allow emotions to flow in a safe way, just like a river, they flow on and settle. But if you try to block a river with a dam, there will eventually be an overflow and the dam will break. And that's when things get messy. But if you allow these emotions, like the rivers, to flow, they just head out into the ocean and go and do whatever it is they were here to do. They dissipate. When they're wanting to flow and you allow yourself to process them, that's what your emotions do. They flow through, they dissipate. The one thing that we really know about emotions is that they change all the time. They come, they go, they flow. Even that one feeling we spend our lives chasing, happiness or gratitude, will pass. Remember the saying, this too shall pass. Everything passes. We are not built to be robots and have one emotion. We have been gifted this human life to experience and feel all emotions. Have a think about that. When have you been sad? And other than those conditions like depression and any mental illness, that's a different and complex condition that does not come under this banner. This is sadness from something that's happened in your life. So in general, sometime when you felt sad, is it for a reason? What happened when you were sad? Maybe you cried. Maybe you got a hug from a loved one. Then you allowed the sadness to be there. And then what happened to it? Did it remain? Did it flow through you and change? Did it come and go? That's what emotions are meant to do. Emotions are made to flow and change. When they don't, as I said before, it may be because we were told when we were young that we were only allowed to be happy. Don't cry, you'll make me cry. So we shut it all down. We are not allowed to be sad. And in fact, then you had to, instead of being sad, make others feel happy. So if it's been a while since you've had a good cry, the invitation here is to investigate that a little further. What's your pattern? What's happened? What have you done instead? In the next episode of the podcast, I'm going to speak directly about anger, but I'll speak a little bit about it today. Anger is such a beautiful emotion when it is listened to and given a safe space to be expressed. We have misunderstood anger, and again, as children, we were told to shut it down. It was unacceptable, which plays straight into our core need to belong, which overrides our need to express our anger. So belonging wins, and anger gets tucked away into our nervous system as dense energy. But it doesn't flow through us. It builds up and builds up and builds up, and then it comes out at the wrong person, at the wrong time, in the wrong way. I'll go into that more in the next episode about anger. But for now, think about the amount of emotions that you may have tucked away in your nervous system that have gone unexpressed. Even happiness can be something that is fleeting, which is what an emotion should be. You see something really beautiful and you have this beautiful feeling of happiness, and then it flows and floats away, and then you move on with your day. That's what feelings are meant to do. It is not wrong that you are not happy all the time. It is perfect that you are having different emotions continually. That means you are open and connected, because life itself will offer us a range of emotions through each experience. And that's a normal human experience to have. So when you think about the emotions that are unexpressed and get suppressed, they create dense energy and they get trapped in our body and our nervous system. And this dense energy is the foundation of all dis-ease in the body. There are many books out there about how you can help find the emotional component to physical ailments. Now, I need to be really clear that at no time, now or ever, do I suggest you avoid medical treatment in any way, shape or form and just do emotional work. This would be detrimental to your health in so many ways. However, when you are doing the work on your physical health, when you have a physical ailment of any kind with your health professional, also consider looking into the emotional component of the physical manifestation. I have worked with people often about the emotional component that accompanies their physical symptoms, and their healing time has often been accelerated. Remember, we are multifaceted beings as human. We are so complex, and that's a good thing. We are more than what meets the eye. If we meet ourselves on all of these levels and fully accept ourselves on all of these levels, then we can accelerate our growth in so many ways. For now, I hope you're really beginning to understand emotions and how important they are for us to be whole humans. They are beautiful indications of what is going on for us. Remember, the body holds more wisdom than the mind. Our emotions come from our body. If we listen and allow them, we can learn more about ourselves and become whole. We can bring our unconscious emotions into our conscious and begin to master our future. I'd like to talk now about some ways that you can express your emotions safely. One of those ways is to put music on and dance them out. And the uglier you're dancing, the better. The way that these things and patterns get locked into our nervous system is through linear movement. So a beautiful way to express them and shift them from our nervous system and let them complete their cycle is through non-linear movement. Cue daggy dancing. Cue the ugliest dancing you've ever seen. You will have some form of release from having a dance that is rhythmic and you're on beat and it looks really cool for TikTok. You will have a release that is even more extraordinary if you don't put it on TikTok and it doesn't look anything like anyone should ever witness you doing. It can look a lot like shaking, throwing your arms around, a bit of jerking here and there. You're really trying to undo the linear patterns that are in your nervous system. Another way, and you can do one song a day. Another way you can express them is maybe in your journal. When my clients have a lot of freeze in their body, this is when we have an unmet need or trauma and we've gone into the freeze response. It's normal for us to just freeze when big things happen. Then a really wonderful way to begin the defrosting process is to write an emotion journal, becoming aware of what's actually going on, because when we freeze, we lock it all down. We're not actually aware of what's going on. Every day they sit at the beginning or end of their day and they just write 5 emotions that they've been feeling or that they are feeling. It's beautiful to do it at the end of the day. I do not encourage gratitude journals for anyone with past traumas, as they are yet another way to tell the parts of yourself that are scared, anxious, sad, or angry, or having any other emotion other than gratitude, that they are not heard and they do not matter. So have a think about it now in the way that we've suppressed all our emotions because we're told we're only allowed to have 2 to 3 emotions that get us to belonging. When we're told to do a gratitude journal, are we not repeating the cycle from our childhood that we've been told we can only have these emotions? What happens to the parts of us that are having the other emotions? How do we become whole through a gratitude journal? I'll expand on that a little bit. We have been told that gratitude is the fastest way to raise our vibration, which is true, kind of. But they left a word out, and the word is authentic. Authentic gratitude will raise your vibration, but so will crying when you're sad and expressing anger when you're angry. Gratitude is not the one ticket pass to manifesting and raising your vibration. Expressing your emotions to get out what's going on inside of you and clearing the path for you to raise your vibration is raising your vibration. It is the key. All of our emotions will help us raise our vibration if they are allowed to flow through, complete their cycle, and not get stuck. When we are in full flow, we are a higher vibrational being. Maybe I'll do a whole podcast on that topic as well, because I'm pretty passionate about it. And I have clients who come to me and I go, I'd like you to journal. And they actually get quite frozen about the idea of a journal until I say, they go, have you ever journaled? And they go, no, I never know what to do. And I've tried gratitude and it doesn't work. And I go, yeah, this is why. This is what you can do. These are the ways you can unlock journaling and actually do it where it's really helpful. And that's by doing an emotion journal. So consider that for yourself now if you want to express your emotions. And when you write your emotions out, see if there is a need within you that you can meet. If you're feeling sadness, do you need a good cry or a hug from someone close to you? If you've been feeling anger, frustration, maybe you want to dance it out or journal it out. Write it down about your anger. Anxiety may need a hug. You could grab a pillow like you're hugging the small part of yourself that's feeling really anxious. And you can give yourself some reassuring words and some love and some kindness to bring yourself back to that feeling of safety. So see how you go. Write your emotions at the very least. That's a beautiful thing to do every day. See if you can meet the need. And if you require any further support, there are many wonderful professionals in this world who can help you. And you can also go and see the links on my website and all the ways that we can work together. And the links are in the show notes. For now, thank you so much for joining me on this exploration of emotions and their importance in our inner healing journey. To learn more and connect with me, visit my website, Facebook, socials. The links are all in the show notes. And know that this journey of self-discovery you are on, you are not ever alone. And you're doing a great job. Keep listening for more empowering conversations and insights on the Heal Your Past, Master Your Future podcast.